will take it from here and introduce herself, and I will be in the background listening in. Go ahead, Miss Bethel.
Okay. Can you see me and can you hear me?
Yes, we can see and hear you.
Wow, wow, wow. Good afternoon, everyone. How are you on this beautiful cloudy day? I hope that you are going to represent the sunshine and that I too will be your sunshine. My name is Jean Gross-Bethel, and I am going to be accompanied today.
Yeah, I know.
Can you hear me?
Hold on a minute. Let me mute them. I'm going to mute all because this is going to be an ongoing problem. So I'm going to let you know. Please bear with me, and I will mute those. Okay, go ahead and unmute yourself, Miss Bethel. Go ahead, and I'm going to ask you to unmute. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. First of all, can I do a check to see if my colleague, Miss Valka Valentine and Steve Dudek have been able to join us? We had some difficulties getting online.
Okay, and what is their name?
Yes, Valka Valentine.
Yeah, I can see
here.
Valka. She's on board.
And then Steve Dudek. Stephen Dudek is trying to get in. Just hit the link and just when the passcode.
I don't see it, Steve.
Steve. He's still trying to get in. Hold on one moment.
Okay.
I'm on the line with him. The password is too.
And by the way, you're not sharing your screen if that's your intention. You're not. You need to now go to your actual.
I'm aware. I'm trying to help my colleague get on. I'll be right on. I just don't want to be a distraction because we've had some difficulty. Thank you.
There you go. You got it now. You're on board.
Great.
We can see your screen.
Slideshow. Are you, has he been able to get on?
Well, we're seeing a screen. We're actually seeing you're sharing your slide. That
Jean,
I see.
I'm working with him now, Jean. Okay.
And if the person's name is, I don't see, I see a Julia White Jackson. Could that be the?
No.
That's not the person?
Well, let me just start by saying, in preparation for this presentation today, I was taking a look at the inception of our office. And in 1975, the office was reinstated. And it was a direct result of a cry by the people because of the rising gas prices, the lack of regulatory oversight, and the need for some consumer protection. And it was so interesting because we sit here today in 2022, and we are again saddled with rising gas prices, the need for regulatory oversight when it comes to water, and consumer protection. So with that being said, I want to say good afternoon to you all. My name is Jean Bethel, and I am with the Office of the People's Counsel. Accompanying me today is Ms. Valka Valentine and Mr. Attorney Stephen Dudek. We are here on behalf of the People's Counsel, Ms. Sandra Matavou-Fry, to share with you information about who we are and how we can help to assist you. So, Ms. James, I want to thank you for inviting us. Let me start by
Excuse me,
saying,
I'm sorry, Jean, please. Because Steve didn't receive a form, an invitation, can we share, am I allowed, or do I have to share that link with Stephen Dudek?
yes, I sent him the
Of course.
link, so please.
Of course.
It's the same link, and he just needs to copy and probably go in and open up the Zoom, just open separately Zoom, paste in the access code, and then select 2.
Ms. James, if I send you Stephen Dudek's email address, would you be able to send it to him, please? The link?
Sure, go ahead. You have my email address?
I'll just put it in the chat.
Oh, yeah, you can do that.
Okay, thanks. Sorry, Jean. Okay, we're good.
Okay, so let me start by saying that the Office of the People's Counsel is an independent agency of the District of Columbia government. We are affectionately known as OPC, and our mission and statutory mandate is to educate, advocate, and protect utility consumers. We represent you individually and collectively in all matters relating to gas, electric, water, and local telephone services. We like to refer to ourselves as your utility.
Thanks.
Okay, Stephen, are you on now? Okay. We like to refer to ourselves as your utility lawyer. This People's Counsel, again, Ms. Sandra Matabu Fry, her mantra and the impetus for everything that we do is CARES. CARES is the acronym for Consumer Empowerment, Affordability, Reliability, Energy Efficiency, and Sustainability. Our office is divided into 2 primary sections. Those sections, they are the litigation division, and secondly, the section that I like to refer to as the consumer engagement division. And that division consists of 2 sections. That's the Water Services Division and the Consumer Services Division. Today, I have my colleague, my esteemed colleague, Ms. Valka Valentine and Steve Dudek, who are going to first brief you on the role of the Water Services Division and what they do. And then I will come back and share with you a little bit about what the Consumer Services does and the pressing issues that we in the Consumer Services Division find our most pressing issues with our consumers. Okay, so with that, I'd like to turn this over to Valka and Stephen, if that's okay. Valka, I believe.
This is a check. Okay, great. All right. And you're able to hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you, Valka.
All right, great. Steve, do you want to call?
You're breaking up, Valka.
I'm breaking up?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Okay, let's see.
We can hear you now. So I'll introduce myself, and then we'll go from there. So hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Stephen Dudek, manager for the Water Services Division for the Office of the People's Counsel. And I apologize for the technological delays, but we're on. So today, Valka and I are going to present to you guys about what WSD does, because we are a newer division within the Office of People's Counsel. We just celebrated our 3-year anniversary back in April. We'll focus on also available water assistance, focus on disconnections, because the water company will start disconnections in the month of June, actually starting tomorrow. And then also just things to look on when you get your water bill. For the people who are on camera, how many people are water consumers for DC Water or pay a water bill to DC Water? If you can just sort of raise your hand to the camera. Okay. So we got quite a few. Velka, are we able to upload the PowerPoint, or do you need me to?
I can upload it if it's I can upload it. Not a problem.
If not, I got it. It's fine.
Okay, well, if it's easier for you to do it.
Okay.
Go.
So, and everyone
Miss
can,
Teresa, this is terrible.
Who is this?
Oh.
Who is that? Portia Carson, who said that this is terrible? Is that Portia? What's terrible, Miss Carson? Can you hear?
The rules are is that she should wait for questions, so just go ahead, ma'am, go ahead.
okay. So everyone can see the screen, correct?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so as I mentioned, so the overview of what we're discussing today.
I did.
So the biggest thing that we see is people really don't know about the Water Services Division or the available programs that is available for them. How many people have heard of OPC's Water Service Division as of today? You can either sort of use the icon to show your hands or the video. So, okay.
Like you say, it's good to try to, sometimes you can remember stuff. Isn't that good? I remember that too.
Okay. And so what we do, as Jean mentioned, is we
A lot of other people
do
remember it,
advocate and
but they just
educate,
been able to get on it.
and we are case managers. So we have 2 aspects of the division where we handle your complaint. We talk to DC Water. We try to advocate on your behalf. What that means is either to assist you in making a payment plan, to assist you in getting services, to assist you in hopefully getting a credit back from DC Water, and if all else fails, assist you through the process of challenging your bill, which is important because you as a water consumer do have your rights as a consumer, and you should be knowledgeable of those rights. So if you have any questions, you should always contact us. The biggest confusion with the Water Services Division is we provide sort of resources, we provide links to applications, but we're not direct funders. So if you're behind on your water bill, you can call us on how to access resources, but we don't have any money available or give any money to the public. So resources available, resource here is, I'm going to go through a couple into detail, but these are the 4 available programs. LIWAP, which is the Low Income Home Water Assistance Program. Oh, if you guys can just mute, just so everyone can hear. The Queen Rivers Impervious Area Charge, Customer Assistance Program, and Multi-Family Assistance Programs. So Low Income Home Water Assistance Program is the newest program, and these are for individuals who have an outstanding balance and individuals who don't have an outstanding balance. So amount that you could get is anywhere between $250 all the way to $5,000. And it's a federal funded program. It's a program that was created because of the pandemic and was only created as of right now for this fiscal year. And the funds are actually almost completed or completely used, which is a good thing knowing that people have been accessing these funds. We are waiting to hear back from the federal government to see if this will be funded into the next fiscal year with fingers crossed, hopefully, because it does provide an adequate resource, especially if you have an outstanding balance of $4,000. This program, if you're income eligible, would wipe that balance completely free. So I definitely will continue to monitor, and hopefully we can promote next month or two that this program will be funded for the next fiscal year. The Queen Rivers Impervious Area Charge is the next slide, which is also known as a customer assistance program. So the words are interchangeable. It just means the level of money that you would get back. And so they actually have 3 types of levels on how much money you can get back. And what we can do is we can send this PowerPoint to Ms. James. We can send the links to the application. One good thing that DOEE does, which Department of Energy and Environment, they administer the application, and then DC Water will allocate the funds on certain programs. They consolidated all the water programs into one form. So when you complete one form, you'll be able to determine your eligibility for all water assistance programs. This is probably the most used program. It isn't income based. It's only income based on the tiers. So even if you're making $125,000 for a room of 4, you'll be able to get a type of discount from your monthly water bill. And that discount is the CREAC fee. That CREAC fee is used to keep the waterways around DC Water clean. Typically on your monthly bill, it's between around $20, $21, sometimes $18, $19 a month. And so if you fill out this form and based on your income, you can actually see a decrease in that fee and fees associated with that CREAC fee. So it would definitely help to get that 65 monthly deduction, the 45 monthly, the $15 monthly deduction. So it's a program that you should be aware of. And if you need assistance with accessing that program and filling out the application, you can contact OPC's Water Services Division. As you see at the bottom, we see Splash, which is serving people by lending a supporting hand. This is a fund created by DC Water and Power, which they contribute to on a annual basis. And the Greater Washington Urban League administers that program. So they help consumers who have an outstanding balance and can allocate up to $350 for an outstanding balance, okay? The key thing, it has to be an outstanding balance. It can't be your current bill. So you may have to wait, miss a payment, and then apply for those funds. So those are 2 most utilized programs that consumers have been taking advantage of. There has been 2 types of programs that DC Water created because of the pandemic. One of those programs is the residential program, and this provides up to $2,000 of financial assistance for any outstanding balance. It is income eligible. It's 80% of the area median income, which roughly I would say is probably between $120,000 to $126,000 for a family of 4. So if you're the owner of a house and you have an outstanding balance, you can, through the application that DOEE has, they'll determine eligibility, and then DC Water then will allocate the funds. Now you have the right to use up to $2,000 throughout the fiscal year. So say, for example, right now you're behind $1,000, You applied, you get access, you wipe that $1,000 balance out. 2 months go by, now you owe 200 again. You can still use this program as long as you don't exceed that $2,000 limit. So it's a great program that we have. We are in current talks with DC Water to ensure that they provide this assistance for the next fiscal year as well, because even though the pandemic may be dwindling down, the financial burden that the pandemic has caused is still quite present, and we need all available assistance programs for residents in DC. The second program that DC Water created is for tenants, actually. And so this is called the Multifamily Assistance Program. So this is in any building with 4 or more units, where typically what happens is DC Water sends the bill to the owner. The owner then either disperses the bill amongst the tenants or has a third-party biller that determines the percentage of how each tenant would pay the water bill. So if you are a tenant in a multifamily building, 4 units or more, you can actually apply for the multifamily assistance program. What happens is when you apply, the property owner has to apply as well. And when they apply, DOEE will then send the application over to DC Water, and then DC Water will administer the funds back to the owner, and then the owner has to disperse 90% of the credit to the qualifying occupants. So those tenants and multifamily units do have access. This is the only program that provides some available resources for tenants for the utility of water, because typically DC Water doesn't handle with them because they don't have a direct account with DC Water unless they're renting out a single family unit or a unit that it has a single meter for their property. So it's 2 programs that are coming to an end, but we hope to get the good news that they'll be extended into fiscal year 23 and hopefully 24. The last thing I wanted to talk about before I have Velka mention how to read the bill is disconnections. As I mentioned, disconnections do come and are actually happening starting mid-month, so starting tomorrow, June 15th. From my conversations with DC Water, they should not be disconnecting anyone who has an outstanding balance less than $600 and is involved in or determined to be low income. So if you receive Social Security, if you receive TANF, if you receive food stamps, anything of that should qualify you to be safe from disconnection as long as your account, your outstanding balance does not exceed $600. This protection will remain through to what DC Water has expressed through September 30th. After that, it may be everyone is fair game. What does have to happen is DC Water must issue a 15-day notice before they can disconnect your water. If you get a 15-day notice, do not wait. Please do not wait. Contact OPC Water Services Division so we can discuss the opportunity of hopefully preventing disconnection. What we will discuss is the utility assistance that we just went through over the past 2 slides. What we also will discuss is potential payment plans. If you make a payment plan, that will prevent a disconnection. However, you have to honor the payment plan. What we don't want you to do is just agree to a payment plan and then 2 months later can't abide by the payment plan. Because if that happens, it makes your life a lot harder to get your water back on. Because not only will you have to pay a restoration fee, they may be unwilling to enter a payment plan or make a higher payment plan where you have to pay a lot more upfront. So if you or any of your neighbors or family or friends receive a disconnection notice, please have them contact our agency. We do have a contact information slide at the end of this presentation, and we will do our best to make sure that water stays on in your unit, because without water, you can't shower, you can't cook, you can't bathe. Water is an essential utility. Water, I hate to use DC Water's logo, but it is so true. Water is life. So it's best to be proactive in these situations. Even if you miss a payment or don't have enough to make a full payment, just even giving $10, $20 can go a long way, because in that sense, it allows us a little bit of leverage to say, yeah, we're limited in funds, but they're doing their best to pay what they can. Is there anything you can do to help us? So some instances DC Water does, other instances not. But in the sense, please be proactive. If you receive a disconnection notice, please contact us so we can advocate on your behalf and guide you through this process. So going through that, I know we'll do questions at the end. I'm going to turn it back over to Velka, who is going to talk about sort of the typical things we see, as well as things you want to focus on in regards to reading your bill. Thank you. Velka, the floor is yours.
Yes. Thank you, Stephen. Hello, everyone. I just wanted to, again, my name is Velka Valentine, and can you hear me okay? Steve, you're the only person that I can see, so great. And so I just wanted to, we're giving you a lot of information, okay? A lot of acronyms, DOEE, you know, DC Water, OPC, and I just wanted to share with everyone that OPC is available to come out in small groups and kind of break this information down into small parts, and even provide a mini clinic to help you with how to read your utility bills and how to access these programs. Steve talked about these water affordability programs, which many people don't know about. You can go to the Department of Energy and Environment, to their website, if you have access to that, and read about all of these programs. They're in a nice little neat row, you know, where you can access. There are even videos that you can learn about the programs, what they provide. You can also go to DC Water's website, who has a full page of resources on programs that you can access. And the programs provide not only online links, which is the best way to apply for these programs, but they also provide actual documents that you can download and print. There are some people who think that, oh, I can't afford, I don't make enough money, or I make too much money. There's something in these programs for every DC resident. There are many of you who have retired, who worked hard all of your lives, and now you're finding it a little hard to make ends meet. Don't leave the money on the table. It's no shame to get some of these discounts. There are people that are making much higher income than you and I, who are receiving great benefits as a result of programs that they are aware of. I also, for those of you who may be seniors, look for an advocate in your family, whether it's a child, whether it's a grandchild, someone in your church or club who has access to online resources, who has a computer or a tablet, or knows how to go to the library and utilize one, because you need that in your life right now. Not only for these utility discount services, you need that to access things that are information about your doctor, your healthcare. It's so important. we at OPC will help you the best that we can, and we are available. But you can imagine that there are hundreds and hundreds of people who are calling our offices right now to try and access some of these services, and we are doing the best that we can. If you have your own online advocate, you'll be in a better place. So with all that said, I'd like to talk about the DC water bill. We have a quote up here from one of our consumers who shared that she didn't understand her water bill and she couldn't figure out if she was being overcharged. And we see many indications of this. This is not the only issue with payment problems that our consumers are having. There are some people who can't even afford to fix the nature of the problem. If there's an internal leak, for example, if there is a toilet running, and that issue is going to continue and continue until it's fixed. And those are the kind of things that will increase your water bill. So today, I am going to just go through some key points looking at your water bill. Now, DC Water has a site where they will run you through those different points of your water bill. And OCP has its own script as well. And I really do want to just take you through some of those pointers that I think are important for you to review. Now, there are two factors that can affect your water bill: the amount of water that you use and the measurement of your property's impervious surfaces, such as the sidewalk, the rooftop, the driveway, the patio. That's your CREAC. If you look on the right-hand side of your bill, you'll see how much you're being charged for CREAC. And so those are called impervious surfaces. And so your household water use is measured by meters. DC Water started replacing more than 85,000 older analog meters in 2017. They started replacing these with high-tech meter upgrades. And this integrated system of smart meters, they're like communications networks and data management systems. It enables a two-way communication between the utilities and customers. So many times you'd see the DC Water or gas or electric come out and read the meters. Well, they're changing things over so that they don't have to do that anymore. And there's a place where they can review when and how much water you use. So some of these replaced meters are outside of your home and some are inside. So the meters report water used in the household. So if we look at the top, at the far right of the bill, if your bill retype is ACT,
Okay.
it means that if your bill retype is ACT, okay, I'll go all the way to the top of your bill to the last box. It means DC Water is taking an actual reading of your water usage. But if your meter's not working, or it cannot be read by DC Water, your bill retype will be EST, meaning estimated. An estimated meter is not desirable. Sooner or later, DC Water will provide actual readings, which may be higher or lower than previous payments. And eventually, you will be responsible for the final calculations of use. We have people who have called our office and their meters have switched from estimated to actual, and they come out owing $2,500 to $5,000. And DC Water expects that to be paid. But if that ever happens to you, you give us a call and we will help you through that process. Now, the chart at the top of your bill contains identifying factors for service account. So above the chart, you will find your account number, which is on the left, your address, the property location by lot, and the property's impervious square footage. DC's contact information for customer service, emergencies, and online access is located at the left. And so we have the bill summary, which identifies important information, including the billing date, the balance, recent payments, outstanding payments, and your current charges for the billing period. This section identifies the total amount due, as well as the due date to avoid penalties and late fees. Okay, so when you go down the list, you know, these are the household charges. It can be found on the right of your bill summary. The meter fee, these are the costs for use of the meter, which is the property of DC Water, just like your cable box. The water system replacement fee. These costs for replacing old water mains and pipes. The fee is established by the size of the meter and the average flow of the water. And so you want to make sure that you have the correct size meter. And if you think that it's incorrect, you give us a call and we'll walk you through that. The other fee is the water services lifeline rate. DC Water does not charge for the first 4 CCFs for residential customers, okay? So we're talking about the average consumption for a household is about 4,600 gallons, okay? Then the water services standard residential rates, which is based on household water usage. Your sewer services, yeah, you got to pay for the water that's coming out of your house. And they're all identifying new charge that people are asking questions about is the Clean Rivers Impervious Area charge. And so this is better known as CREAC, okay? CREAC, this charge pays for stormwater management, including storm sewers and green infrastructure. Your household CREAC fee is based on the amount of the impervious square footage at your household, such as driveways and sidewalks, rooftops, patios, so anything concrete. So we have the DC government fees, which is the DC government pilot, which means payment in lieu of taxes, and ROW, right of way, are based on usage. And the stormwater fee area are calculated through the impervious surfaces. These charges assist the government for payment and maintenance of DC water, stormwater, and sewage infrastructure. So we go down to Splash, which is the contributions voluntary. Then there's a section on historic usage. And then there's a payment section, which has a checkbox for your Splash contribution if you would like to, your account number, the amount due, the due date, the amount enclosed for payment information, the account holder, and service address. And DC Water address if you want to send your payment. Please be mindful of the account holder section. You want to make sure that your name is included in that section so that you can have access. If you're not an account holder of record, it's going to be very difficult for you to get information about your bill. So I really want to encourage everyone, especially those who have those automatic payments taken out every month to pay their bill. Review your bill. Become very familiar with it. Enroll in discount programs. And if you have any questions, contact OPC for assistance. And again, we are available to come out in smaller groups. We are available to help you one-on-one if you call our office. If you have any questions after our presentation, of course, we'll be here to answer those calls. Thank you very much, Stephen.
Thank you, Velker. And so I just wanted to sum up the bill that Velka had was from 2017. And the biggest thing that we get is a lot of people use automatic payments, as Velka just mentioned, and really don't check what the bill states. Always read your bill. Please read your bill. Also, what it will show is why you have a high water bill. For example, the sewer rate is usually higher than the water usage rate because they need to have the treatment facility to be able to work to treat the sewage and hopefully reuse the water or have it clean if it gets dumped into the river. And so it's always important to know what is going on. And so this section, be aware, I wanted you to be aware of two things. The first thing is rate increases. DC Water is planning to increase your water bill for fiscal year 23. So that increase you'll see will be for the month of October, starting in October and going forward. What we see is there's going to be an increase in the sewage fee. It's going to be increase in some of the other fees associated. There may be a tiny decrease in the CREAC fee, but you're looking to probably have a higher bill starting in the month of October, if not October, definitely November, depending on when you get your bill. So I want you to be aware of that. The second thing to be aware of is the lead pipe replacement program. DC Water has a goal of replacing all lead pipes, both in the public and private side, by 2030. So typically what they would do if there was construction, they would notify their homeowner, you have lead pipe both on the private and public side. Can you give us the consent to go forward and change it? And they would give the green light to do so. Now they're hopefully going neighborhood by neighborhood to be able to replace all the lead piping, the galvanized piping in everyone's property. And they have a goal of doing this by 2030. OPC hopes to host a seminar on this within the next month or two, so we can talk about the available programs that DOEE offers to individuals to cover the cost of the lead pipe replacement program. Also discussing what neighborhoods that they are focusing on, because we know that wards 7 and 8 have probably the most pipes that need to be replaced. So I just want you to be aware of this program. And the other reason why I want you to be aware of this program is we have heard that contractors are knocking on people's doors, trying to scam them, saying that they're from DC Water, they need to enter the house and check the piping. That is wrong. No one needs to enter the house. A DC Water representative should be in contact with you if they're looking to replace the pipe. So if you do have that experience, please let us know so we can let DC Water know, and also to protect you. So I just wanted to sort of give those customer alerts at the end of the presentation. And as Velka stated, we are here for you guys. We're here to advocate, educate, and protect. So if there's something, if you want us to come back and focus on just the lead pipe replacement program, we'd be more than happy to give that type of presentation. Any presentation that deals with water, such as how to challenge a bill, something that wasn't on the bill but is now, is that all of your water bills currently should have a date when you challenge the bill. You must and should challenge your bill by that date. What I mean by challenging bill, emailing DC Water saying that you have or want to dispute the bill, because if you do not do it by that deadline, you waive your right to challenge that bill. And if the same issue occurs the next month, you can only get credited for that amount. DC Water is very strict on how to challenge a bill, and we've been trying to work with them on getting that process more consumer friendly, such as having a form so there isn't any issue. We don't have to contest a email saying this was a dispute, put in writing. So any questions on your bill, please contact us, please give us a call, please email us. I will put my email in the chat as well, so please reach out to us if you have issues with your bill with DC Water as well as outreach. Velker, is there anything you wanted to add?
No, I think that I will save my time so that if there are any questions, that we can be more direct. But I certainly encourage, all of our listeners that there is something in these programs for everyone, no matter your income, no matter what ward you live in, there's something available for you. And we are here, like Steve said, like Jean said, to help you. It can get confusing. Who do I call first? Do I call OPC? Do I call DC Water? Do I call Department of Energy? What I tell my people that call me, when I call my people, my consumers, don't say yes to DC Water for any kind of negotiation until you check with OPC first. We're your lawyer. You don't have to pay us anything. Well, you pay us through your taxes, I guess. But nothing out of pocket, okay? And just talk to us first so that we can make sure that you are getting the best option available. Thanks, Steve. And thank you, Jean. And thank you to Alice for this opportunity to share this information.
Great. Thank you, Velker. And I'm going to turn it back over to Jean, because I know she just have a brief explanation about energy efficiency. And then I believe after that, we'll take some questions. Jean, the floor is yours.
Okay, wow. Was that fantastic? I bet you all know more about water than you ever imagined, and you thought you knew information about water. Well, today, what I want to do is I want to share with you some energy efficiency measures and tips. And actually, if I can share my screen, let's see here. How do I share more thing? Share screen. And let's see. Can you all see this?
Yes.
Great, great, great.
Yes.
Wow. This, I'm going to talk to you, and probably really the resident experts are on the line, which are Valka and Steve, because I thought that given that we were going to focus today's presentation on the Water Services Division, that we should look at some energy efficiency ways in which we can preserve our water usage, to become a little more conservative and mindful when it comes to your water usage. And the direct result is lower water bills. So the first thing, let's just look at one place where lots of water is used, and that's in the bathroom. There are just some simple tips that you want to always be mindful of when you are in the bathroom. Okay, so first of all, you need to know that the shower, toilet, and the faucet in your bathroom, they use a lot of water. In fact, the toilet alone accounts for about 30% of indoor water use in an average home. So taking shorter baths or showers is a good start, but there are lots of other ways you can save water in the bathroom. So one is fixing the leaks. If you find that your toilet is running, please, by all means, make those adjustments. Valka, would you like to share a little something about what happens and ways in which consumers can actually check to see if their toilet is running or using excessive water? Okay. Okay.
Uh, I can, Gene.
Okay, thanks.
And so, yeah, so it's a small, simple test. It's called the blue dye test. That's something that I actually didn't know about until I joined OPC. And so what you can do is you can lift the back of the toilet and in the sense, pour a blue dye, soda, Gatorade, anything that has color, and close the lid, wait, don't flush anything, and just wait, I'd say 15 to 20 minutes. If you see after that, you lift and look in the bowl that the water is discolored in the bowl, or that color, like blue Gatorade, is in the bowl, then you know that you have a leak and the water is running. That is probably the biggest complaint we get is toilet leaks. Whenever you talk to DC Water, that's the first thing that they say is there's a leak. And that's one way you can do a home test. If you think there's a leak, we always recommend contacting a plumber to get out there to address it immediately, because toilets, even if they run for an 8-hour time period, they can spike your bill up to $1,000. So that simple test will hopefully identify if your toilet is leaking. If your toilet is leaking, all of the toilets should have some type of stoppage, a knob that you can turn that's up against the wall to stop the water from going. And we recommend doing that because then it'll stop the flow of water and you won't have water constantly running. But that dye test, again, some type of soda, blue dye, Gatorade, anything to discolor the water, let it sit for 15 minutes and see if it seeps into the bowl will determine if you have a leak and whether you need to contact a plumber or not. Velka, anything to add on that test? You're on mute.
I'm muted. Okay. DC Water also has instructions on these tests as well, Steve. So if anybody needs any, a refresher, they can find it there as well. Thank you.
I do want to add that for those of you who are not responsible for paying your water, if your toilet is running, please, I implore you to contact your landlord. If you want to get a service person in your unit to come check out some things, let them know that you have a running toilet or a leaky faucet. Because as Steve and Valka have shared with you, running toilets can amount to almost $1,000 bill at the end of the month, just for that one unit. So clearly your landlord or property manager.
Gene, that is so true. And whether it's by text or email or have to put in writing to let people know so that put it in writing. A phone call sometimes will not do. Thanks.
Another user of both utilities is when you're doing laundry. So when you're running your wash machine, it uses not only water, but it also uses electricity to run the water. Okay. One of the things you should know is that when it comes to washing clothing, it's all about the detergent. Unless you have someone in the home that is ill, or there's something that actually requires that you wash it in hot water, you should be able to clean your clothing or garments using cold water. And also remember that generally while machines do have different water levels, please try to, use your wash machines with a full load. Because remember, you're not only using water, but you're using electricity. So while you may have a low water level and just a few garments, you're using electricity also to power that wash machine. And that's a way in which you can lower your, not only your electric bill, but also your water bill. Showers, needless to say, replace those heads if possible. And remember, anytime you see a leak, that means that there is a problem. We find that showers use less water. People use less water, believe it or not, to shower than they do when they are actually sitting in the tub and bathing. When it comes to kitchens, a lot of water is used in the kitchen for washing dishes, for dishwashers, for mopping, and so forth. Please, please, please don't run. Why do you use more water when you're washing dishes than the dishwasher? First thing is that what happens is we tend to just run the water. We run the water when we're washing fruits or vegetables, when we're cleaning foods, when we are washing dishes and waiting to rinse them. All of these are means of using excessive water. So if you're doing your vegetables or your fruits, try putting the water in a pan and washing it there. And then once you empty that pan, then you can refill it with fresh water, but you don't need to use the water with a continuous run. You are using a lot of water, and when you're using hot water, that means that you're using gas and electric as well. Let's see. Oh, one of the other things is we're going to talk very quickly about the refrigerator. Put jugs, if you find that you are, this is more of an energy efficiency tip than a water tip, but I just want to touch on this. Refrigerators run smoother the fuller they are. So, and sometimes during the end of the month or towards the middle of the month, or between grocery runs, the refrigerator can become a little empty. I would like to suggest that you put jugs of water in the refrigerator. That will not only take up space, but that's water that you can use for other purposes later on. Okay? For plants or so forth. Your kitchen, again, very quickly, dishwashers, believe it or not, they use a lot less water than hand washing, and a full load leads to the exact same amount of water. So try running your dishwasher maybe once a day with a full load versus a small amount. And as the summer season is upon us, remember when watering your lawns, okay? Needless to say, and those of you who are responsible for paying your water, I know that you know the cost of watering your lawn, but if there's some prediction of rain, you may not need to water your lawn. And they say you need to check your garden tools for leaks just to make certain and round the sprickets so that you don't have excessive water that is leaking. Okay. I know Valka touched upon the water meter and your outside areas and your children, their little tips. For those of you who have those beautiful grandbabies who are coming around, let them become your little spies. They can tell you where there are leaks, where the water is dripping that you may not be conscious of. And ask them to please turn off the water when they're brushing their teeth, and then turn the water back on to rinse off the toothbrush. We talked about the toilets and the water heaters. For those of you who live in homes, please remember, turn down the thermostat to 120. You do not want it to be so high that when you turn on the water, it becomes scorching hot. Keep it at a moderate temperature, okay? I know that we are coming up on time, and at 2:15, this call was about this call was to end. So I want to yield the rest of my time to, if you all have any questions of Stephen and Valka and myself regarding today's presentation and how the Office of the People's Counsel can be of assistance to you. Can I open the floor now for a few questions?
We will take questions with hands raised, so please raise your hands, you know how, and we will take it from there. So using the hand tool, that is.
Okay.
So we have Randolph Queen, hand is raised. Go ahead, Randolph, you can unmute.
Thank you, Teresa. My question is the phone number for DC Water, Office of the People's Counsel. Could you get that again, please?
Yes, you can reach us at area code 202-727-3071.
727-3071.
Correct.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And I did put it in the chat just so everyone has it, as well as my email. So you can also, if you have an issue or question, you can email me. What the process will be is I'll have my intake specialist just give you a call, do an intake, and then you'll be assigned to either myself or one of my team members. But we will respond. I know a couple of you have already reached out to me, so you'll be in contact within either later on today, but most definitely probably by tomorrow, since our intake specialist is out today. So I just wanted to have you guys be aware of that.
Okay, what's your email address?
Yep. So it's in the chat, but I'll repeat it. It's S for Stephen,
Okay,
D for dog, U for university, D for dog, E
EK.
for egg, K for king, at opc-dc.gov. And I'll put that in the chat again too for everyone again.
It's there, it's still in the chat.
Okay.
Okay, our next person will be Louise. Go ahead, Louise. Louise, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I want to ask a question about doing the laundry and using the dryer at the same time. Do you save energy if you do them one at a time? I was told that if you do the washing and the drying at the same time, it costs more.
Actually, I don't, Louise, I don't really have the answer to that question. What I would suspect is that at the same time, when you're doing it at the same time, you're just pulling more energy.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, electricity is measured by kilowatts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the amount of pull on the kilowatts.
Right.
The amount of pull on the meter. I don't have that answer, but I will find it out and get back with you. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And next hand is Portia Carson.
Yeah, Miss James,
Portia,
will they be able to talk about the gas company today?
Okay. So you would like to know about the gas company. What in particular?
The gas company messed up on my bill, and I've been trying to get it straightened out since February. And they sent me 5 bills at the same time, and it comes to $542. And I'm a senior. I don't have no $542 like that. That don't make sense to me. And I've been talking to different representatives, getting different types of answers. And the last one I talked to about a week, he told me he was gonna talk to his supervisor and call me right back because he really didn't understand it either. It's a problem, miss. They sent me letters saying a current resident. I never moved from here. Then they sent me a letter saying homeowner, and then they changed my account number and everything. I'm having a serious problem with the gas company. If they was just not taking my $274, it wouldn't, I asked them to send me my money back, and they told me they would, and then I went on and made another payment of $65, and guess what? They sent me the $65 back, and then they wrote on the check, on the, the thing where the check be on, it told me they got $65 from me.
Okay.
No, they sent me the $65 back, but they never sent my $274 back. And that's
Okay.
the problem.
Okay, so why don't we do this?
Yes.
Can you give my office a call?
Yes, ma'am.
That number is 202
Uh-huh.
727
727
3071.
3071.
Okay.
And
you're
who do
gonna
I ask for?
you're gonna reach the receptionist and they're gonna do an initial intake. Please let them know that you spoke with Miss Bethel, and that's
Miss-
Bethel.
Bethel. Okay, Miss
Right.
Bethel. Yes,
She-
ma'am.
And that I asked you to call and to assign your case to me,
Okay.
okay? And
Yes,
I
ma'am.
will look into this for you.
Okay, I
Okay,
appreciate
now
that.
give me your name again, please, just so I can.
My name is Portia, Portia, and my last name is Carson, Carson. You want my
Okay,
phone number?
Okay,
Miss
well, you don't need to,
Bethel? It's all right.
okay,
202-299-6154, because somebody else might be able to help me too.
okay, well, great.
Yes,
Okay, I will be on the lookout for that call and I will give you a call to follow up, okay?
yes, ma'am. I appreciate it. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, Portia,
Thank you, Miss James.
you're welcome.
All right.
Our next
Okay.
hand is Yvonne Johnson. Go ahead, Yvonne.
Yes, the last lady who spoke when she was giving us some tips on how to cut down on so much usage. And she made mention I had to run and turn the kettle off. And so I missed what she said, but she was giving us some pointers on if your refrigerator isn't full. She made a point of putting jugs, water jugs. Could you repeat that point that you were making? I think, do you remember that?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Your refrigerator is one of the larger items in your kitchen, which uses a lot of energy. And when the refrigerator is full, it uses or requires less electricity or burns less kilowatts because of the density or the concentration of goods in your refrigerator. So one of the things we like to recommend is during those periods when the refrigerator isn't full, that you stack it with things like jugs of water. Not only will it take up the space, which will cause the refrigerator to run more efficiently, but then you can also use that water for other things as opposed to just running water. Okay, so that may be the water that you can then take and sit out when you're about to wash your vegetables, your fruits and vegetables in a bowl, as opposed to just running the water continuously while you're washing your vegetables.
Okay.
Or some individuals run their water while they are watering their plants. You can take that water out, let it set at room temperature and use it that way. But more importantly, you can also drink it. Okay, but yes, you want to put things, you want your refrigerator to remain as full as possible because it uses less energy. And one of the ways is to just simply put things like jugs of water in it.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Yvonne. Our next person is David Shepherd. Go ahead, David, unmute. Unmute David and speak. No, okay. Go ahead. All right, we're not getting any response from David, but we'll take Michael Charles. He would be the next person. Michael, go ahead and unmute. Michael, can you hear us? Go ahead and unmute. All right. I don't know what's going on there. So we'll go to the next person. We have a Zoom user, no name. Go ahead and unmute Zoom user. Your hand is up. Hello. Your hand is up.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Shepherd, go ahead.
Yes, I was trying to unmute while you was talking. I'm sorry. I just want to know, is this my last session or am I done?
Miss, can we discuss that a little later, Mr. Shepherd? We're just taking questions now for
Okay.
OPC.
No problem, no problem,
Yeah.
no
Any
problem.
questions relative to the class, please hold them until they're finished and then you can ask me those questions.
Okay, no problem.
Mr. Charles, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, my question was, it was abbreviation that y'all had gave us. I'm trying to go back to it right now. The abbreviation was, here, go right here. CRIAC. What's that stand for? It's from the OPC DC, and it has to be applied for CRIAC assistant.
Okay, that's Valka or Stephen.
Yep.
That's the CREAC. You want to share with him?
Yep, so that's the CREAC fee. So CREAC and also there's a CREAC fee and then a CREAC application. So CREAC stands for Queen Rivers Impervious Area charge. And so the CREAC fee is what you see on your bill, which they charge you anywhere between, we'll say $18 to $22 for storm runoff water to keep the rivers clean. And then there's a CREAC application, which based on your income will limit the amount of that fee. But again, CREAC is the Queen River Impervious Area charge.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, I think that brings us to the last question for the OPC. Am I correct? Do we have any others that are needing answers from OPC? Please raise your hand now. Else we will then, can we all give thanks to OPC for taking their valuable time and sharing with us such critical information. Let's go ahead and give thanks to the team. That would be.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for having us.
Thank you.
And on behalf of the People's Counsel, Ms. Sandra Matabu-Fry, I do want to thank you all this evening for allowing us to share with you some of the workings of the Office of the People's Counsel. Okay, remember, we are your utility consumer advocate. We're there to advocate for you when you have any issues regarding your gas, electric, local telephone services, or water. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Okay. Just say
Thank you.
goodbye to them, Ms. Valdeca.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Ms. Valentine.
Thank you.
Bethel, and
All right.
Bye, Miss Portia.
Have a nice day.
that's sweetie. Thank you.
Give us a call,
the
Miss
sun
Portia,
shine
so we
on
can
you.
help you.
Okay.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna call you as soon as the class over with.
Okay.
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 I
Now
appreciate
we'll
it.
take questions
May the
from.
sun shine on you. Thank you.
Yes, and have a smile on you too.
Okay,
Oh,
Thank you, Miss
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
all right. So, class now, So today's Tuesday, as you know, and today was not a mandatory day for those that are new. But we have class tomorrow, mandatory, and that would be module 1 for those that haven't taken module 1 yet, or for those who've taken it and needs more knowledge on that area. That's tomorrow at 1 p.m. If you have any questions pertaining to the class, go ahead and raise your hand, and I'm more than happy to answer those questions. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Miss Jane.